Okay, everybody. You may have heard me talk about this general topic, which is my dad and I really like making fonts. And we like making fonts around mathematical ideas, trying to illustrate theorems and open problems. And we also like fonts that are really hard to read. That's for also known as puzzle fonts, where you have to solve a puzzle in order to read, turn the right thing into the left thing. So we've done a whole bunch of these, I think 9 or 10. I can't count. And I'm going to tell you about two new ones, one about juggling and one about card shuffling. So you may know about the mathematics of juggling. There's a lot of cool papers about it. In particular, this idea of site swap notation is back in the day revolutionized how we think about juggling patterns. But it doesn't communicate everything. And for example, it's really hard to capture the idea of arms crossing in a juggling pattern, or in general, where the arms are moving separately and into the keyboard, separately from the timing of the pattern. In a certain sense, this looks the same as a regular 3-ball juggling pattern, but it's not the same. So we made a font to kind of illustrate this idea. It is 26 juggling patterns. I can't do all of them. And each one represents the letter of the alphabet just by the trajectories of the balls. So if you trace where the balls go, you can write your message. So if you've got enough jugglers, you can write an entire sentence however you like. So let's do, I don't know, Martin seems appropriate. And it's got to load. Maybe, yeah, OK, it's coming. So I'll do the letter M just to give you an idea. So it's nice and simple. It's actually a trick I used to do back as a grad student. So you can now impress all your friends with your juggling abilities. If you can do the letter S, I'll be impressed. Yeah, that's juggling. Now, we've been trying to turn these into puzzles. And I think an interesting challenge is actually just to read the letters as they're being juggled. If you see either the animation, I think a little more challenging is you see these kind of still versions of the animation. And you can try to figure out what it spells. Don't shout out the answer. These are puzzles in your gift, so you have to think about what they are. It gets harder if you have more frames and less persistence of vision. Each column is a single juggling pattern, and it's cyclic, so please join the bottom of the page with the top of the page, and you can see the pattern. So that was juggling and puzzles based on a juggling font. Let's do card shuffling. Now, this is not your average card shuffling, but it's the cool magician card shuffling, Pharaoh shuffles, where you take a deck of cards, divide them perfectly in half. That's step one. And then perfectly interleave the cards. So it's like a riffle shuffle, but you do it perfectly. There's actually two ways to do this, depending on whether the top and the bottom card remain top and bottom, or you can push them in by one. So it's called an outside shuffle or an inside shuffle accordingly. And if you're a good magician, you can do this. And so what can you do with these two operations? One cool theorem. This was actually an open problem in the magic community for 50 years until Percy Diaconis and Ron Graham solved this problem. And in a very small number of moves, logarithmic in the number of cards, you can take any card you want in the middle of the deck and bring it to the top just by doing a sequence of in and out perfect shuffles. So it looks like you're just shuffling the cards, but you have full control over what's on top. And so we wanted to make a font out of this, and luckily you can buy an alphabet deck. So here I've got all 26 cards, 26 letters in card format. And now you can bring whatever word you like to the top of the deck. And again, we have software to do this. So these are all on our website. So if you want to write Martin, it'll take a while. But you do an outside and inside and outside and outside and inside shuffle, you'll get the letter M to the top. And so on. Maybe just the letter M is a little bit easier. It's an interesting font because the letter depends on how you make a letter come up depends on all the previous letters because you're completely permuting the cards as you go along. Really, this, I mean, if I had enough time, I would do 5 perfect shuffles. Totally, I could do it. Yeah, right. But it's a little easier when my computer does it for me. So here's 5 perfect shuffles to get the letter M. I think we're on number 4. Oh, one more. Yeah, now, How many people here can do perfect shuffles? Anyone? Yeah, this is a good audience for it. That's about representative of the population. Maybe, could I get Glenn up here? I think, now we've never met before, Glenn, right? All right, so yeah, let's switch to the Elmo and get our deck out here. So we've got our 26 cards. Whenever you're ready. Elmo, please. Oh, I see. I just can't see it. All right, so it's a good challenge. I have to see if I'm doing it right. So we've got X, Y, Z. You've got like an A on the other side. So we're going to do a sequence of perfect shuffles. Let's do an imperfect shuffle, Glenn.
Not until you say that.
I knew we should have practiced.
Oops. Cheat.
All right, now let's see what we got. On the top, I actually wanted letter M for Martin. But hey, we also get A and T and H. Nice. Nice. And if we could switch back the slides. So this is a new set of puzzles and problems we've just been playing with lately. You can pre-arrange your deck, as you might imagine. It was a little bit pre-arranged, not quite sorted, but it's very close to sorted. And you can get, of course, words that don't repeat any letter up at the top of the deck in one shuffle. I think there's a pretty interesting underlying theory here, but we don't know what it is. We only know the theory for how to bring one card to the top. To bring several cards to the top at once and do a sequence of words, totally open problem. Lots of cool questions. And that is some fun puzzles and fonts. Hope you had fun.